I had two interesting meetings this week, and my reactions to those meetings are the seed of this blog. In the first meeting, I met with someone who was, from the very get-go, from the shake of my hand, trying to sell herself to me. Not necessarily because I was buying, but because that's what she did. We were meeting about a particular issue that had nothing to do with her resume, with her accomplishments, with her achievements, which were, to her credit, quite large. But the moment I met her, she spent most of the entire meeting marketing herself to me, telling me everything she'd ever done, walking me around her house, where in every corner was evidence of her brilliance, and then not just letting that evidence stand for itself, but trumpeting that to me. The other meeting was with quite a well-known, accomplished person who let his accomplishments speak for themselves. The meeting was more about who he is as a person, who I am as a person, how we might work together in the future. And I sat there after those two meetings, they happened on different days, and wondered what the difference was. This first person is extremely accomplished, I would think, but I had never heard of her. And so I didn't know any of her accomplishments. Perhaps she knew that and she launched into it. The second person knew I knew all of his accomplishments and came into the meeting knowing I knew exactly what his history was and what his resume was, and we could move forward from there. But then I wondered, does this first person, anybody who wants to talk to her about a subject, is anyone wanting to talk about that subject subjected to her resume? And then is that good or is that bad? Had she not done that, I would not know what I know about her, which is now vast. I have a lot of information about her. I know what she's capable of. But it was so distasteful to me that I'm not sure I really want to work with her. On the other hand, had she let this information slip or say, hey, here's my resume, look at it later, here's my website where you can find all my information, friend me on Facebook, connect with me on LinkedIn, I'd love for you to see what I've done. And then I could have done my own research. Everything might have been a little better, and I would have found out the same information without being a captive audience to her monologue of I'm great. And so then I thought, well, what's the difference? What's the difference? Because how do you prove to people that you're good at what you do? You prove it to them by being good at what you do, but then the people that didn't see you be good at what you do, how do you tell them that? Because that's, part of it is if you're good at something, then your reputation has to spread somehow. And what do you do? What's the difference between inserting that you are important in the world or inserting that you're confident in yourself? And I don't have an answer. I never have an answer. I think you guys have probably figured this out by now. But there's certainly a difference in the way you carry yourself, in the way you present yourself between self-importance and self-confidence. Self-importance comes from the seed of insecurity. Self-confidence comes from the seed of confidence. Self-confidence is, I know I'm good, and I know you will eventually know I'm good, so I'm just going to let things play out. And you will eventually find out, and if you don't, then maybe I'm not good. Or maybe you don't think I'm good, which is also fine because I think I'm good, so we're okay. Or maybe my goodness doesn't apply to what you need to do. Or on the other side is, I know I'm good, and you need to know I'm good so that I can be assured that I'm good. And there's the difference. So this first person wanted me to affirm her. I wanted me to say, wow, that's great, and oh, that's amazing, and what a wonderful project. She needed that from me. Whether she needs that from everybody she runs into, I don't know. But she needed that from me. The second person didn't need anything from me except conversation about how we could collaborate and wanted to know about me. I didn't say much. Having just had this conversation with the other person, I gave him some information and, told him to look on my website, see what I could do. So it was two totally different personalities, and then it really made me think. And then I started thinking about Facebook and about LinkedIn, and about Twitter, which I don't do as a person. I have a Twitter account for Octarian, but I don't tweet as me. I have a Facebook page as me that is solely dedicated really to what I do professionally. I have a LinkedIn account that does the same thing. So what is the difference there? When I brag on Facebook, humble brag or otherwise, about something I'm doing, is that any different than what this lady did to me, this captive audience? You're captive. I'm going to tell you everything about me and how great I am. And I don't know. My Facebook page is designed to do that. I don't have much personal information on it. I opened it to network, to link to people, because not everybody was using LinkedIn. And so I have a Facebook page that's designed specifically to connect with people I don't quite know and see what they're doing and have them see what I'm doing. So is that self-importance? I don't know. It's a question that I haven't satisfactorily answered. I haven't taken down my Facebook page. I still brag on my Facebook page. I still tell people what I'm doing. But I figure if they don't want to see that, they're going to unfriend me, or they're going to block me, or unsubscribe, or hide my status updates. And so I think even Facebook, you don't have a captive audience. You are still, the consumer of information of you still has a choice whether to click on that link or whether to just read your status update or not, or even whether to have you appear in your status update. Yet from my end, I have 800 friends who are so interested in what I'm doing. And so does that give me self-confidence? Does that give me self-importance? I'm not sure. It's an interesting world we live in. Back in the old days, I was really bad at selling myself. I would not ever really talk about my accomplishments. I thought it was bragging, and I was raised not to brag. But there is a fine line. You have to let people know that you're good. You have to be confident and clear about your accomplishments. If somebody asks you the question, what have you done, you answer it. I didn't used to answer it. But you don't walk into a room, shake a hand, and then give somebody your verbal resume. So that's the line. Self-confidence, if you're confident, you know eventually everybody's going to get what you're good at and why you're good at it. If you're self-important, you are spending your life trying to prove to the world that you are important. And that comes from not having self-confidence. So the ultimate goal is to use what you do and how you do it to build your own confidence, so that you may project to the world the kind of person that can be effective and bring to their work just the slightest amount of ego that needs to be brought to the work, but not so much ego that the work is overshadowed by the person who created the work. Rambling blog. Maybe there's some nuggets of wisdom in there somewhere. Have a good week.